What is going on, everyone? Mr. Jamestown Gaming, and I know this is all about gaming, but I wanted to let you know that I've started a separate channel for movie reviews, and I'm actually going to be watching movies hopefully when they come out or within the next couple of days. But anyway, I'm going to watch the movie, give my thoughts, my opinions about what I thought about the movie, and hopefully you guys will share your opinions about what you thought. So the first movie that I actually did was Lone Survivor, and I'll leave a link to the channel below so you can go there and subscribe if you want to see more of the movie reviews. And I plan on making more of them kind of more upbeat and funny, but the first one I did was Lone Survivor, and I thought it was kind of a serious movie, so that review was a little bit more serious, but hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully you guys support me over on that channel as well. And I'll have the video, I'm going to actually have the review play right after this, so don't worry, you'll get to watch it now if you want to see this one, but if you want to get future ones, make sure you subscribe. So if you want to see more content like this, or if you're, if you think that the movie reviews will be good, and you're interested in seeing them, make sure you hit the like button on this video so I know, and I'll keep making them. But anyway, guys, that's it for this video, and I'll catch you guys later, and enjoy the review of Lone Survivor. What is going on, everyone? Mr. Jamestown, and today I'm talking to you about Lone Survivor, the movie starring Mark Wahlberg. I just got back from the theaters, and I wanted to share my thoughts about what I thought about the movie, my opinions, and get some feedback from you guys. So if you're unfamiliar with the movie, basically Mark Wahlberg and a group of guys are dropped into the Afghan territory to take out a certain individual. And this guy is a high up on the Taliban, and he's a big threat to that country. And so basically what they're told to do is to go in and take this guy out. And it's only 4 guys, which you would think that, something as big as that, you would probably have more guys. But anyway, I understand it's a movie. So the 4 of them, Navy SEALs, get dropped in, and it's supposed to be a very, cut and dry kind of operation, and it goes haywire and falls apart pretty quickly. And that's pretty much what, it's a typical, they get dropped into the forest, the desert, wherever. They have to kind of fight their way out of it. You think that they're never going to make it out. They're rescued, and, that's pretty much what you expect in a movie. However, the ending was a little, I'm not going to spoil anything, but there was times that you wanted to know if they were going to make it out, and then you were like, okay, they're going to make it out, and then just kidding. And it really goes all the way to the very end of figuring out exactly what's going to happen. So enough about kind of the ending. I don't want to spoil it for anyone, but it was a very overall movie. It was very, very good, and I thought the director, the camera shots are amazing. The way that they filmed it, just the detail, the sound. It was really, really good. So I was definitely a big fan of that. And I like the way that the director, because anytime you're talking about basically war, you're going to have 2 sides. You're going to have, both sides fighting, whether it's the United States or whether, it's the, Afghan or whatever. You're going to have 2 sides of a war. And they're fighting for their cause, and we're fighting for our cause. And you have to be kind of delicate with how you make a movie like that, because it can go over very well or it can get a lot of backlash. And I thought the director did a great job on filming both sides of the story. And let me go into a little bit about that. I think we've all have come to this kind of conclusion that we're starting to feel like maybe we're sending all these guys over there, and we're spending all this money, and we're losing our own lives. And at what point do you keep doing this? And when they sent these 4 guys over, their job was to kill, basically equivalent to like our president. Now, if it was reversed and they were to send 4 guys over here and they were to take and kill our president, would that stop us? Would that end our fight for freedom? No. We would just elect a different official. I mean, nobody, of course, wants to see that happen, but we would elect a different official, and we would keep pressing towards freedom, And presidents have been assassinated, and we didn't stop. We just, continued our fight for freedom. And when I was watching this, I was kind of like, and I understand it's a movie, but, when you think back and you look at it, it's like, okay, if we get rid of this guy, is it going to stop? No. They would just not hire, but they would just elect somebody else, and that would be the next new target. So then it's like, we're sending people over there, and these are, our family members. These are, people, our neighbors. We're sending these people over, and in the not perfect conditions. I mean, if you watch what happens to these guys, I mean, that's what's really happening, and that's scary because they're risking all of that for what? I mean, if it's not going to, solve something, then why are we putting more and more and more into it? It's been over 10 years now, and we're still kind of, I feel very, very in the same boat. But anyway, I don't want to get off onto a tangent about that. I just wanted, to just when you watch the movie, just kind of look at it from both sides. I think, now I will say at the end, without trying to spoil it, but basically there's a group of their own citizens, I guess you would call it, that actually kind of retaliate against them. And they play a very big part of the ending and kind of the outcome of the ending and the outcome of Mark Wahlberg. And I thought they did that very well because they not only it's hard to explain, but they didn't make us look like the bad guys. Obviously, I mean, a movie in the United States to make us look like the bad guys, but if you think about it, there's a part in the movie. It's hard to kind of go into detail about the movie without spoiling anything, but there's a part earlier on where they basically have to decide to either kill or let these people go, and they decided to let them go because they didn't have guns, they didn't have they weren't a threat. I mean, they were a threat, but they weren't physically attacking them at that moment. But then there's a later part in the movie where, the other side, it didn't matter if you were a threat. It didn't matter if you were a child. It didn't matter really anything. If you were standing there with no weapons, they shot you. And I think that's kind of the difference, with America, that we even over there with everything that's going on, and even though a lot of it is not really our fight, but we stand there and still keep our morals to ourselves. And, that's something that to be proud of, especially, as an American, that we still handle ourselves that way. And, I thought that was an interesting twist, to kind of say, not everyone may act that way, just because they live there, or just because they're of a certain race or group or whatever. Not everyone is going to always act that way, and so it's something that you just want to take and keep a clear mind. But I did like the way that that was portrayed. There was a few kind of unrealistic parts. They're falling over the side of a mountain and it's full of rocks, and they do this multiple times, but they don't get knocked unconscious or, anything like that. And I understand it's the movies. And, that was kind of, maybe once would have been enough, but they kind of did it a little bit more, where it's like, okay, these guys have been shot. These guys have fallen over mountains. They have, and they're still, I think that was a little bit over the top. I would like to kind of see that more realistic. But overall, I think the movie was really great. And I think that just the way the director portrayed everything really was just a great job. So I highly recommend this movie. Even if you're, not into, war movies, it's kind of just like it's a nice movie to reflect on what these people actually kind of, what they go through, what they give up, what they could, that they could die. And that's something that, with this movie, and especially like at the end, they do this huge dedication, to the group, because it is based off of a real, true story. And they show these people, and they actually show the guy that Mark Wahlberg plays, Marcus. And, they show pictures of him as recent, I think it was like 2010 or 2012, like some recent photos, so I think that whole thing, was really good. The layout of the movie is just amazing, and just the way that the director did it is just a really, really good movie. But I'm curious to see what your guys' thoughts are about the movie, if you've seen it. And what did you pick up on the movie? What did you think was kind of over the top? Not, and you have to kind of look at it from like a moviegoer's point of view. If you want a great war movie, lots of action, lots of gunfights, and understand that it's a movie, then yes, it's going to be a great movie. If you're kind of touchy as far as like war and good versus bad, or that kind of thing, then this movie may kind of be frustrating for you to watch. I'm gonna be honest with you, but I think overall it was a great movie. But I really want to hear your feedback. So you have two ways that you can respond. You can either leave a comment below; those are always appreciated, and I would like to hear your guys' thoughts that way. You can also take and make a little video, record something with your webcam or with your phone, and you can upload it to me. And if I get enough submissions, I would really love to do kind of like a like a feedback from you guys, just a montage of clips, from you guys, just to see. I mean, like I said, this is just my opinion, and I would like to hear your guys' opinion. So please leave a like if you want to see more reviews like this, and I'll definitely continue to bring you, movie reviews as the movies are being released. And if you want to see some montages of what other people think, or if you want to participate, that's always great. But anyway, that's the end of this review, and I will catch you guys in the next review. This is Mr. Jamestown, and hopefully you have a great day, and I'll see you at the movies.